Good coffee. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a great day. A lot of excitement in the markets, a lot of headlines and comments all over the place on FinTwit, even on CNBC, everywhere. It's a different comment from everyone. That basically tells you no one knows nothing. Yes, it's too early to make some comments. But one thing I do want to let you guys know, 2 weeks ago we did the trading psychology video, and in there we mentioned recognizing yourself as a trader. One thing you need to ask yourself that is very important. The reason I'm going to say this because this is going to help you guys. It's going to maybe ask make you ask yourself certain questions. Do you only put the work in the markets when you're making money? And times like this, when no one knows what's happening in the markets, do you just sit back? You have no idea. You have 1-2 position, it might be down, and you just don't stop putting in all the work. You need to ask this question to yourself. If that's the case, trading, I mean, you can't. You gotta put the work in, whether you're up, down, or sideways. This market requires work, and you gotta stay consistent, right? Then simply you just refuse to accept downside, but downside is part of the markets. The thing that matters is, are you up on weekly basis? Are you up on monthly? Are you up on a quarter end? And are you up semi-annually or annually, right? And if you're not, and by any chance you're facing a lot of bumpy roads, your account's very volatile, then your position sizing is off. You're either hitting some big trades and then giving all the big gains back to the market, right? Or maybe you hit one lot of trade huge and then rest you're just trading. Your consistency is not there in your position sizing. That means if your position sizing has consistency, then you will either stay sideways or slowly uptrend, or you will have a strong base. At least you will not fall below your principal amount in your account, right? And please go to sessions, watch. We have a lot of topics covered on this. Please. SPX. I did a lot of reading this morning. Then I slept again. Then I did a lot more reading. And my conclusion that no one knows what's happening in the markets. Just play the levels as usual. Well, two important numbers. One came from our platinum stacks, Goldman Sachs. I read his entire thesis twice, not once but twice, in SPX futures. Right? Just to plant the numbers he writes in my head. 4600 is a very major key level on SPX. All right. One is just reading certain things and being like, okay, 4600 is a major key level, but one is actually understanding why and going deep into it. 4600 is a very major key level. And then 4640 is resistance. Likely sellers around these levels. 510 points, 4650, Sachs also mentioned, and 4665, I believe. And if we hold above 4650, we rally. If we hold above 4650, hold above, right? Not for 5-10 minutes, but if we continue holding and we make a base, then we probably rally towards 4700. Okay? And if we do break 4600 downside and we break 4590, we likely see 4550. Now at this zone, buyers can also be active, okay? Buyers can also be active here, okay? And the expected range volatility for today is 0.7%, all right? I mean, usually these are pretty accurate. I mean, it could be off, but 0.7% movement we're expecting in SPY today, which is, I think, normal. So that's about $3 or $4 maybe. Right now, pre-market, I think, are we popping? Is pre-market, things are going up right now? Yeah? Okay, so a little rip in the markets right now. But for now, we just have a very strong support level right here. Now we're looking at SPY. These are ES numbers, okay? Here on SPY, major support is the lows that we have from Friday, which is 450. The lows here are 457, 458. So we should hold above 458. What happens today, I have no idea. Personally, I believe we just base in this zone right here for now. If this zone gets taken out, we approach this 50 DMA line right here. You can draw it on your charts, and maybe we touch it, bounce it, and then continue going up, or maybe we continue going lower. All right. And so Qs, a similar action. I won't go over Qs too much. I don't want to spend too much time on it. A similar technical pattern. Qs held more gains than SPX, obviously, right? And then if we look at Dow now, where's the symbol here? Dow is this? No. Where's the DIA? Okay. No. Guys, anyone know the trading view? I want to go on the proper index. I've never actually opened it here. Anyways, Dow is actually losing more momentum than SPY and Thing. I think I'll look into it, so just ignore that part. But some tickers that I do want to cover for today. We have financial XLF. We'll quickly go over. Nothing been a base. A huge drop last week on Friday, and now it's just in this chop. Completely avoid. Completely avoid. Right. If we look at the monthly here, the reason I'm going over this is today's the month-end action. Right. A nice breakout last few months, and then finally this month we gave up some gains. And now for me to be bullish on this again, 40.50 is once again um, in play. We had the highs here of 40.86, and then we had the high here of 40.68. All right, so we were not able to get through 41, and this is why I play levels through 41. It would have actually showed more strength, and we could have played this to the upside, but 41 was never broken. I have my alert set on my quest trade. I never got the alert, and this is why I actually never looked at XLF, the financials. But until 41, I won't look at them. The only time I would look at them on a different level is if we come here, which is 34.87, around 35-ish, around these levels. All right, which can take another month, 2 months, or maybe even 3 months. But until 41, I won't look into it because I don't want to get stuck in this chop zone. This is very hard to trade, right? I can show you guys one example. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. Monthly rip down, right? I mean, on technically, we were supposed to go up today. We were actually supposed to go up today based on technicals. And let's just look at the daily channel if you were trading financials. And for you to be right, I mean, how do you predict which way are you going to be right? Right? How do you predict? You can't. I mean, it's completely in a chop zone. The only thing you could do is try playing these support levels and just seeing if you're on the right side. And even if you play these support bounces, and if you don't get that rip on the second day follow through, you likely lose a lot of premium. All right, people that bought the support level here yesterday gave up all gains, and now does it lose support here or does it go up? It's very hard to tell. That's the reason I say play levels, play confirmed trades, so you have more chances of winning. Right? I'm gonna go over the LRCX play. Why I played LRCX. On some tickers that I want to cover now, XLF, we have Moderna. Some mixed comments from Moderna. All right, some mixed comments. Now the CEO came and Mr. Bansal, I believe his name, he came and gave some comments all over the place. But Moderna's up a lot. It went from 225 to 370, right? If we want to play Moderna to the upside, I'm actually happy it's opening down pre-market again. I hope this thing comes down to 274, which I doubt it would, right? Given these news. But even if it continues making a base here or like a flag pattern, we likely see another rip on Moderna, because the revenue they're going to earn from these vaccines, if this is an ongoing regular thing, it's going to be huge. It's going to go right through this resistance. 460, 500, 600 will be very fast for Moderna. So the longer it flags here is better for us, and I hope it does. So let's see if we get that. Pfizer yesterday gave up most of its gains, right? It opened at all-time highs, gave up some gains, which is fine, right? Our spreads were up 300% if you were holding, and a 300% position, you don't let go below 200%. So I hope you guys managed. I sold a lot of Pfizer. I'm just holding some more position, obviously. I'll see my sells when I want to sell them. But Pfizer needs to hold above 53 no matter what. Anything under 53, we have all the way towards the first level of 50, 90, this gap fill right here. And then we have this 44 up to here. And it's fully possible they can bring this down, trust me. All right. So if you're long Pfizer, make sure 53 the must hold, or take your profits and wait until it settles above 53 and then enter a new position. Regeneron, they had some news regarding their thing, and I think their news was that their vaccine is not as effective, so they're down pre-market. If Regeneron loses this 640, if it stays below 640, expect 615. All right, and then expect this very basic support levels. 640 on REGN is a must hold. If it does not hold 640, it likely sees much lower. All right, and then we have TDOC, some names I'm going to go over. If this Omni variant is true, right, if there are going to be lockdowns, these people will probably know it before us. All right, the big fish, the whales will know it before us. They're likely going to take these tickers up. TDOC, Zoom, Piton, and Docu, right? These are just some of the tickers. There are more. If this lockdown Omicron is true, and if they're going to put the world on shutdown again, these are the tickers that should give us heads up that, you know what, yes, it's about to happen. And these tickers have to go green and stay strong. If that happens, then we can probably go long or buy spreads on these tickers just to be on the safe side. And if the world does go into shutdown, then these tickers should run. On technical basis, on TDOC, we're on support. I'm just waiting, and does it go through? Is it able to get above this zone right here, which is roughly 115? If TDOC can get above 115 and we see some increased volume in buying, that will be the first signal. Same with Zoom. We gave up the gains on Friday. Yesterday we had a nice little reversal. If we see increased volume in Zoom and we see that they're taking this stock up, that will be another signal that, you know what, okay, we might have some lockdown news coming in the 1-2 days. So that's how you can predict maybe that we might get the lockdown news. But Zoom has to hold the gains and go up, like Moderna. You see these moves that happen in Moderna? If the lockdown is true, this big squeeze, Zoom, TDOC, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Keep this in mind. Don't go heavy and try to look to catch a 70, 80 point move. It'll be a very foolish thing to do, all right? But I'm just giving you guys an example and you know what might happen. So Zoom is one stock that you want to keep an eye on, right? I think this might be one of the strongest, if anything, that can probably see 270 and 280 and 290 and 300. But first, you want to see the increased volume. Are they buying this thing up, right? And then you can probably tell by the premium increase in calls. Just study that part, and you will be able to have a better understanding. Peloton also at a very strong. Sorry for my drawings, guys. I know they're messy, but you can see I've done my work on these tickers. Again, at a very strong support zone, right? This is from May of 2020. All right, it came into the support zone. So all these tickers that I'm going over, they have a very similar pattern, TDOC, Zoom, and all these things. If it holds here and we see little rips and increased volume, that will be another tell that, you know what, we might get some lockdown or shutdown news. All right, so Peloton is one more, and then Docu, obviously. Docu, I think, performing a lot better than all these other stocks, right? I use it myself. I don't even after the COVID is over, I think I will continue to use this a lot. Shutdown or no shutdown doesn't matter, but this I do love this stock. At a very key support level, right? And I think I have my numbers here. Okay, so 270, above 270, we have 278 and 300. Same thing here. If Docu sees a move and we see a little uptrend, I think this can also see. On Docu, you can probably just draw this trend line, I think this works. Oops, sorry. The pattern that I see on Docu, that is a potential pattern, right? Something like this. Above this channel, if we can continue getting 270, 280, we can probably play Docu to the upside. And today is the month end, it's the last day of the monthly candle close. Not that it matters, anything is possible, but sometimes they run certain stocks to close in a certain way, okay? And now Tesla, holding well. I think it just continues to hold for now, right? And I think it's just in this range of rough estimate of just above 950 and below 1200, right? I think it's going to dance around this zone right here, which we figured out from here, right? This zone was given to you guys before it even happened. Sometimes they give a signal. Why? Because 1070 level was the stall point where a lot of exchange happened and then it ripped through. This usually means on a big rip that, you know, a stock will come revisit here, and that's exactly what happened for many. It once, twice, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, right? For some of these things, you don't really need to know certain levels, but this is a pattern that you should be able to recognize sometimes if you've been trading for a long time. And on Tesla, that's exactly what I see. And I do see 1070 visit one more time if I'm not wrong. If we hold above 1200, then my theory is completely wrong. Then I accept more upside, right? So I do understand that as well. But I also know 1150 is very hard, right? And 1137, as per Platinum Sachs, nobody plays Tesla better than him. So 1137, anything under that is likely a sell point. Above 1137 hold, we likely see more buying happening on Tesla, right? And then Elon Musk, once he's done selling, maybe Tesla goes up higher, and who knows, right? I have no idea, but that's something to keep an eye out on for. Amazon, so Cyber Monday, Shopify had their record sales, which is great. So overall, I don't have Amazon numbers yet, right? I didn't get time to look into them, I'll be honest with you guys. But overall, Cyber Monday sales are down 1.4% from last year. Now, the first reaction of most people and will be that, oh, it's down 1.4%, there's no growth. Yes, you're right. Of course, it's a huge negative, right? I mean, we're supposed to grow. We should not go down. But there's another way of looking at it as well. Another way of looking at it is with all these Omicron news coming out now, with all these supply chain disruptions, with everything going around in the world, we're only down 1.4%. That basically tells you that we've at least maintained from last year, you know? So there's different ways of looking at this. Just keep that in mind. It's not just always one perspective. So it depends how you look at these news, right? and how do you take them. 1.4% for me is not bullish, it's not bearish. I'm just gonna let the market play out. Like, I don't know, for me it's bearish. Yes, it's the growth came down, but at the same time, it's surprising that with all the things going on around the world, that we're only down, like we basically held from last year, which is not bad, right? So there are pros and cons to this. You can wait to the okay, someone's spamming their chart, some CNTV. We're gonna short CNTV, we're not gonna buy it. Other than that, guys, Apple also is a month-end action. Do we close near highs? I have no idea. Do we get that Santa rally? I have no idea. But for now, just play the levels. There's a lot of uncertainty in the markets. But I do know that until 163, 164. So 162 hold, and through 164. Only through 164, I may play Apple to upside, right? Only through 164. Until then, I will completely avoid it, because this can go in a long chop zone between these points, and it's possible, right? Apple makes a lot of money for option guys. There's a lot of liquidity in there, very easy to get fills, obviously, but I don't know what Apple's gonna do. I'll be honest with you guys, so I'm just gonna avoid. LRCX I bought yesterday. I bought spreads on it. Now here's what I did on LRCX. Yesterday we bought LRCX. I bought the January position. So we bought the Jan position. We bought the 750 call, and we sold 800 calls, right? Now LRCX, I told you guys above 675, I might be the first one to buy in. A little early, but they do have a conference, right? They do have a conference. We did go above 680 yes for a little bit, and we did have they have a conference today, I believe. Comments from that conference will matter a lot and will move the stock. Right now it's not technical, it's based on the conference. Do we get good comments from the conference? And what they say will matter. So I'm just gonna wait for that. And I got a very good price for these for $7. Our max profit is 50, which is great, because technically LRCX, if it holds above this zone right here, sorry guys, if it holds above it, we should see much higher. And I do accept downside to all the way to 640. So this play will require a lot of guts to hold, right? Because a lot of the uncertainty with some red days in the market, it can easily come down here, flag, and then rip. Or maybe we rip straight through. Or maybe we come visit 540 one more time if the conference is not good and if they give us some negative comments, right? So I do understand the downside, right? The upside risk for me was good. The ratio was good, right? It was 7 to 50. Why not? I'll take that. Because on a breakout, given the recent trends, I mean, we likely see much more upside on LRCX. But 640 is a must hold. Even if it does come down, 640 zone above is a must hold. So as long as we continue holding above this level right here, 640, I'm bullish. I think we might get a fast move past 700, right? So let's see how that one goes out. And then AMD monthly, daily is just super bullish. It's just insane. I mean, this Lisa Su, just amazing. Ever since she made those comments on CNBC on this day, I still remember when my leaves went up. She made comments right here on AMD when she was on CNBC, and had a nice little rip, nice adjustment, and then a nice little rip. Very strong. And guys, with this, just manage your positions. Just pay attention to 1-2 things I said, right? Do you only work hard in the market when you're making money, and sometimes when the markets are slow? Or do you give up, or do you think the markets are boring? Which is fine, I understand. But if you really want to trade these markets, you got to go through all the ups and downs along with it. And if you manage your position sizing, what MSL teaches you, then you should never be worried. Who cares what the market does? Who cares? You should have enough cash in your accounts, right? If you're greedy, then I can't do much. Watch the trading psychology video, and I'll see you guys back in the chat. We'll be live on the voice chat.